Well, you inspired this one. In my series where I write my commenters as if they were characters in my upcoming story, Glassheart. Chocobo, I took a look at your profile. This is what I came up with. I hope you enjoy. You've had dreams of being an artist, but no one would take you seriously due to your age. At best, you were able to find work as an apprentice of one of the Kuthor sculptors or one of the mosaic artisans, where your life's work would be made for the credit of somebody else, and you feel like you want more. And you do a bit of soul searching. You travel around the city, but your travels land you outside of Dolrum among the canyon dwellers. You enjoy the peace and quiet of canyon life, but most of all, the cakes that they make out of maize and honey. They may be plain, but you see an opportunity, and with a little bit of haggling and luck, you bargain for the recipe and the ingredients to take back to the mountain. It takes you several tries, but eventually you get the cake recipe that you're proud of. You start to sell them on the streets, keeping it simple and focusing on building a good relationship with you and your supplier. Eventually, you branch out making molds with even more interesting designs. The shims now become substantial, letting you open up your own shop and selling custom cakes and treats for the denizens of Third Sister. One day, a group enters right before closing. Along with the normal glyphs that's been etched into their skin, they carry the sun brand on their forehead. They are the children of the spark. They wish to speak to you about donating to their church. And during your chat, they mention the route that you take to get to your suppliers and how they would be happy to bless your journey so as not for you to have an accident. What would you do? What will you do? Will you donate to the church and ensure your safe travels? Or would you do something else? I'd love to hear about it. And if you'd like me to write one about you, please let me know down in the comments below. I enjoy each and every one of them, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye! Maybe one day I will. But until then, I wrote something for you. Welcome to my series where I write my commenters as if they were characters in my upcoming story, Glassheart. Brittany, I took a look at your profile. This is what I have for you. Hope you enjoy it. Brittany, all hobs have a duty for the commune, and yours is cooking. You work as a team, preparing the daily meals for your tribe. Most of them are made from ingredients gathered from the trees in the grove, the garden, or the basin pond. At night, you listen to stories around the campfire before falling asleep, cradling in your tree. When not doing your part for the community, you spend your time taking care of a small litter of kiddas, a small feline species that have taken shelter in the branches of your tree. Like most hobs, you get to live a peaceful life, as certain subjects are avoided, an unspoken rule in your society. Another unspoken rule is to not leave the grove. Would be fine. However, there is one thing that you have fallen in love with that is not found in the grove. Lately, humans in particular have started carving small figurines out of bone. Now, your abilities will make it a simple task to grow parts of your tree to mimic the sculptures, but there's something fascinating about seeing each small mark of the tool, the texture of the sand used to smooth around the edges. Each figurine seems to have a story of its own. So, once a month, you slip out of the grove and visit the little shops in Second Sister. You don't carry shims with you. Hobs have little need for currency, but many of the shops you do visit are willing to trade for the hob goods. On one such outing, you're stopped by one of the human guards that patrol the city. They shout at you in one of their strange languages. You try your best to communicate, but they keep shouting at you, pointing to your bag. You show them the contents only for them to take it and throw it, smashing the figurines on the ground. The guards grab it for you next. What will you do? So, what will you do? Will you fight back? Hobs are nowhere near defenseless, but you live in a strange ecosystem and you're not actually part of their culture. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. And if you'd like me to write one about you, please let me know down in the comments below. I love each and every one of them, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye! Well, I hope you enjoy the adventure I wrote for you. Welcome to my series where I write my commenters as if they were characters in my upcoming story, Glassheart. Manny, I took a look at your profile, and this is what I have for you. I hope you enjoy it. Manny, no sport is more popular in Dolrum than Labyrinth. 2 teams of 3 are tasked with carrying a ball through a 3-dimensional maze. First to 3 points wins. Even though the sport is shown primarily to Second Sister, the residents of Second Sister, it's played by humans. Maze is dangerous to traps and the other combatants. They do their best to mitigate the deaths of the competition. You were a prolific player a few years ago, popular with the crowd, easy to work with. Your team, the Primals, went undefeated in your 3rd year, making you one of the best, the one to beat. After the birth of your child, though, you decide to hang it up, retire with grace. You're still a big part of the labyrinth, using your winnings to open up a gym in Second Sister. You spend your days teaching the next generation of labyrinth dwellers, giving advice, tactics, glyph loadouts, and most importantly, you teach teamwork. You employ several current pro players to help train the newcomers. It's a good relationship. It offers a steady shim flow when they get hurt. Lately, though, more and more of your trainers show up after the games with injuries, burns, and broken bones. They won't say why. Eventually, after some persuading, you find out that a new team has joined the ranks. A team full of electees, which is unheard of. Not only are they dominating the season, but they're using their status to skirt the rules. You go to the regulations board, but they tell you there's nothing they can do unless the electee team quits on their own. You set up a meetup with the electee and try to reason with them. They laugh at you during the meeting, calling you an old lepo. But all electee enjoy sport, so they set up a deal with you. One match against them. You win, they leave. They win, you close down your gym. What would you do? So what will you do? Will you take them on, or will you do something else? Let me know. And if you'd like me to write one about you, please let me know down in the comments below. I don't know about Genius, but I wrote something for you. My series where I write my commenters as if they were characters in my upcoming story, Glassheart. Katie, I took a look at your profile, and this is what I wrote for you. I hope you enjoy. Katie, you're a third sister girl through and through. Your family has run the same bar for generations and offering a wide variety of alcohol sourced from Third Sister and the Canyon Distillers. After you took over a few years ago, you wanted to experiment with the drinks, trying new cocktails, adding smoke from various herbs and spices, transforming them in new and fun ways. While never a gang member yourself, your bar acts as a type of neutral ground for several of the larger crime families in Third Sister, a place where businesses can be conducted without the threat of violence. Because of this, you've garnered a decent amount of respect from the local lords. At the same time, your bar is seen as a prime piece of real estate, and several people have made offers to buy the place. You've turned them all down. You work most days, only closing down to watch your partner participate in the canard races down in the canyon. Win or lose, you both have fun, and that's really all that matters. One night, though, when you're sleeping, your partner's canard screeches, waking you up in the night. You notice smoke seeping in through the floorboards. Jumping out of bed, you two race downstairs to see the bar ablaze. Buildings in Third Sister are mostly clay, but still susceptible to fire, especially when the lower floors contain alcohol. The building only lasts a few minutes, and it falls to the ground, your life crumbling before your eyes. A few days later, you're summoned to a meeting with the Slate crime family. They have done business with your family and always been respectful. At the meeting, the head of the family brings in someone you recognize, one of the attempted buyers for your bar. The gang says that out of respect for you and your family, they want you to understand that the buyer is a front from someone powerful from First Sister, and they wanted a place to spy on the comings and goings of Third. They understand what the bar means to you and want you to decide this person's fate. So, what do? So, what would you do? I'm curious to know. And hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you'd like me to write one about you, please let me know down in the comments below. I enjoy each and every one of them, and I'll see you in the next.